train, hype train, hype train. Get on the Nintendo hype train.
Hey there guys, welcome back to Nintendo Hype Train. This is the first Nintendo Hype Train since I did the one on X, which we now know of as Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is the sequel in some way, shape, or form to Xenoblade Chronicles for the Wii. But, yeah, and that was back on February 22nd. So that's almost 4 months ago, and that's a really long time, but as I said, this series is not going to be a very constant thing. It's going to be there if there's a game I'm excited for, and only if there's a game I'm excited for. And lucky for us, there happens to be a game I'm excited for. Now, I'm sorry if I butcher your name, but Emmanuel Mondesser says that I need to sound more excited. This is my excited voice, guys. Yeah. Sorry if it's not exciting enough for you or excited enough for you. It's just how I sound when I'm excited, I guess. But, so, because you guys have gone into this video and have seen the thumbnail or the title of it, most likely, you know that this is an episode focused on Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. And we got a lot of news for these games during E3. And, yeah. I mean, we got tons of it. Sorry about that. My chair clicks if I move too much. But, so, one thing we did hear, we didn't necessarily see it, because it's kind of hard to hear a sound. Either they've updated the normal Groudon and Kyogre voices, or because they were showing it, like showing the primal devolutions during the sequence, when it happens, we hear what is most likely the new sound effect for them when they're in their primal devolution state. Like their entry sound, I guess. I mean, it's a primal devolution, so it's kind of like a mega evolution. It doesn't happen at the start of the fight. You have to trigger it, most likely. But yeah, I'm not going to put those sounds up because there was music behind them, and I don't want to get the copyright ID block thing. I mean, I'm already using the footage, so I don't know if I'll get caught for that or not, because it's not uploaded yet, because I'm recording. But, so I'm just going to dive straight on into the rest of the stuff that we saw. We got to see the starter Mega Evolutions, and now, we've known about them since the Koro leak, and we've known about Mega Torchic for quite a while, because that, well, not Mega Torchic, but Mega Blaziken. Torchic set. We knew there was a Mega Evolution in the Torchic family. Then. And, that we've known since X and Y, so Mega Blaziken was not a big thing to us. We already knew about it. It's not really new in any way, shape, or form. Unless they add in another Mega Evolution, but they did not show that here, so. You know, when it comes to these starter Megas, I mean, I already mentioned how I think about them, like for the Sceptile and the Swampert, and honestly, the Swampert takes the Mega Evolution entrance to a whole new level. I mean, they normally just roar. But this is the first one to show that it did Mega Evolve. Like, when you get Mega Kangaskhan, the baby, you don't see the baby come out of the pouch. But when you Mega Evolve Swampert goes from all fours to standing on its hind legs. And in that process of Mega Evolution, when the little shell that forms around them breaks, he starts off and its fingers are on the ground. Like, he's standing there almost in the, like, knuckle walking type form of, like any great ape would do. But in all reality, that stance that it had was very similar to the original Swampert stance. And then the first thing he does is he stands up onto his hind legs and roars, and then he doesn't go back down. And I found it interesting because he starts off on his, like standing there, like you would expect from Swampert. Then he Mega Evolves and he jumps up, he pushes off the ground, and he's no longer standing like that. I don't know if that's just something that got me excited, but honestly, I love that, especially because I do love Mudkips. even if they're terribly, terribly weak to the grass types. But yeah, so I found that interesting. But we also got a couple other megas. I'm gonna start off with Sableye because I'm just kind of going by number almost. Like we got Sableye's mega, and I thought that was really cool. It sounds like it's gonna be a little tankier due to the gem shield, which got me a little bit excited. But you know, the thing that got me the most excited was the graphics, the way they used the 3DS's power when using Mega Sableye, and that's the fact that when you have a Mega Sableye, the giant gem that he holds, the 200 rupee, distorts the light, and so you can see that the light's been distorted in that process, and that Sableye is distorted when he's behind the gem. I just thought that was a nice little detail to put in, because they could have easily just made it into a solid gem that you couldn't see through. That was the easy way out. They took they took the long road, but it ended up being the scenic route basically, and I thought that was a nice touch. And the next mega I'm going to talk about is one we've known about for quite a while. It was also in the Koro leak that showed off the starters mega evolutions, and that's Mega Deontay. And Mega Deontay is probably one of my favorite looking megas, because I'm not sure if all gems are going to look like Mega Deontay's, but from the little clip you see of Mega Deontay after it mega evolves, the immense detail to the gems I really like, the way they reflect and all that. It's really quite a beautiful thing, and I just liked how it looks, because we have no idea what its stats are going to be like. Is it going to be bulkier? Is it going to be more of a sweeper? I don't know, don't ask me. I mean, Deontay's practically a mega evolution of Carbink, so I'm guessing, I mean, Deontay is a little tanky, but Mega Deontay, we have no idea what the stats are going to be like. So I just got a couple other things I want to mention. You know, almost everything I've mentioned so far has been a visual thing, and that's because all we really get to do is see the stuff. We're not actually getting to use it and getting hands-on stuff and getting to see the stats and all that, and nothing really goes down to the nitty-gritty. So that's why this is kind of a shallow analysis. I'm only going as far as graphics, really, and in a couple cases audio. But we have a new flamethrower animation, and I know I posted screenshots because I love fire attacks, especially flamethrower. And when I saw X and Y's flamethrower animation, I was like, it's like, I mean, it reminded me of Black and White's and Black and White 2, like the animation that they had for flamethrower, and that it did not appeal to me. I was not a fan of it. I have not had an enjoyable flamethrower experience in a main series Pokemon game since the 4th gen. I loved the 4th gen fire animations. I thought they were great. They weren't cartoony at all. Like they were. I mean, they were simple because of the graphics capabilities of the DS, but they were somewhat translucent or transparent, however you want to think of it, because I mean, it depended on where you looked, but you could kind of see through the fire. Like real fire, you can kind of see through it. And so I liked that, and that I missed for so long. But now we actually have one. It almost feels like a liquid when you see it hit, but it feels like flamethrower should feel like it. And that's what flamethrowers are. They're like a burning gasoline, basically. They're a liquid fuel being shot out and kind of splatters everywhere, and so the fire should look like it's kind of splattering a little bit. It shouldn't just kind of be like, whoosh, you're engulfed in flames now. Like, no, not quite. But we also got to see I'm not sure if this was actually in the trailers or not, but there's a new Muddy Water animation. I'm pretty sure we got to see it in the trailers from Swampert, because I know it was in the screenshots of Swampert, but there's a new Muddy Water animation in the game, and yeah, Muddy Water looks amazing. And I mean, before it didn't look like muddy water to me. It looked like mud. Like, you were causing a mudslide because it was thicker than surf. Like, surf, it had like the little white edges, like it's a wave almost. Some sea foam splashing about when you use surf. But when you used muddy water, it looked like you were just kind of splattering mud everywhere, and then it came down. Like, when the pillar came down, it looked like muddy water. But they've made the water a little more translucent, a little different looking, and so I'm excited for that. But one I do know we got to see was we got to see a Mudkip use water gun, and water gun has a much greater look to it in this game than it did in X and Y. I mean, X and Y, its water gun was lackluster to me, but in this game, it feels like a water attack that shouldn't be too powerful, but it looks like you're able to deal some damage with it. It looks like it makes sense that you're dealing damage with it. And I only have one more thing to really mention from all this, because I don't want to get into the gyms and all that, because the gyms are nice, but I don't know. I don't really like to go into the gyms right off the bat. But what we do get to see are the new battlegrounds. We got to see all the new terrain, like you know when your Pokemon comes out in the little ring forms. We got to see the new rings, and I have to say, the grass looks a little cartoonier, but it looks a little nicer. It looks a little taller too. That's a big thing for me. But only that, the textures that they use for like the water look better. All of the ground textures that you stand on look much nicer. And that's one thing I'm really excited for. Like, they look a little nicer. It's just how they are. Don't blame me. But you know, graphically, the Pokemon look a little better. Like, as I said, Deontay and Mega Deontay have a nice sparkle to their gem, like to their gem structures. Sableye's got the crazy distortion effects with its gem. You got your all this new stuff, and I'm honestly really excited for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and I want to hear what you guys think about the games, because I mean, a lot of people are hyped. Hoenn has a huge fan following. It's not my favorite region, but I'm still hyped for the game. I'm still stoked. I love Pokemon. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna, just because it's not my favorite generation, be not willing to buy the new games and grumble about how they should have done Sinnoh or something, because Sinnoh is my favorite gen, and I knew that we would get Hoenn before it. So I want to know what you guys think about all this. Also, what do you guys think about my new intro? I just want to hear what you think, guys. That's one of the biggest things to me, and I want to be able to improve based on what you say. So I know I couldn't help Emmanuel by making myself sound a little more excited, but I mean, that's just something that's probably not going to ever change, really. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys will comment and just give me an idea of how you feel about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that stuff. And yeah, I hope you guys love Disc. Enjoy the outro. If you liked this video and would like to see more, please subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Google+, where we post behind-the-scenes things, funny pictures, and more. We hope to see you there.